All right, so kind of a quick video. It's going to be at least a 7-minute video. That's how long it takes to cook. And if you've seen my other cooking videos, I just wanted to kind of do a follow-up to that after the new point 6 update is dropped. It's what, dropped the day before yesterday. So just going to jump right to it. If you've seen that other video, it's like the principles are still the same. I'm going to touch on those briefly here. Some of the numbers have changed just a little bit, whereas before in that other video I'd mentioned that 5 out of 10 for the burning stage is kind of the sweet spot. Looks like 3 and 4 are now the places you want to be with when it comes to cooking. And looks like the heat radius, so to speak, around the fire has been tweaked just a little bit. However, it does seem to be that there's still some issues with the states not updating. So like I said, just want to record a quick video kind of showing this, and that way I can pump this up to the powers that be and let them take a look at it. So anyhow, let's get something on the Barbie here. I'm going to throw a couple of rabbit meats here. Had quite a few steaks left over. And if we check these, they're going to show as warm and raw. If I come in here and I adjust these over, you can immediately hear the sizzling start to change. These started off kind of low, but I'm still going to kind of keep an eye on these numbers to make sure that they don't dramatically change. These should be showing hot raw now. Start my clock. So we got 4 pieces of rabbit meat. One of the things that you're going to, if you haven't noticed already, is food spoils quickly, whether it's cooked, uncooked, what have you. This backpack was a backpack that I had prior to the 0.6 update. On the server that I'm on currently, there was not a wipe, so this backpack was still in place after the update. So, but as you can tell, these were all 90 plus, some of them were 100, and they've all started to deteriorate pretty quickly. I can probably throw this other one, I missed this one. That'll be my outlier a little bit. Just make sure he... Now, if you'll notice, when I first put those down, they showed as warm. Now, granted, they weren't there for very long, but if I'd have waited on those, the state wouldn't have changed. So I'm going to keep an eye on these as they cook, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I only got 5. I should have had 3. That 3 and 3, and that way I could have done a control group, but you'll get the picture. You'll get the drift of it here. Right now, I'm only showing a minute 14 on the clock. So, but in the meantime, keep an eye on everything else. We're still 4 of 10. I got some extra sticks over here. We'll keep a check on this. Raw. Okay. So usually it seems right around the 4.5 minute mark, they should go to slightly cooked. What I have noticed is that if the state of the fire changes, in other words, it goes from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, what have you, the food states will update at that time as well. So it's almost like something in here is not getting refreshed properly. But if everything stays the same, these states won't automatically update. And the only way to get it to do that is to manually move these, like you saw me do in the beginning there when it was only shown as warm. Now again, I understand that that was only there for a couple of moments before I moved it, and then it went to hot raw. So now you'll see these just flipped. Now the colors changed, so I don't know if you can see that on the stream, but the colors did change slightly there. But the states have not changed. Fire's still showing 4. So just for giggles, I'm going to grab one of them and adjust it up a little bit. Hot raw. Only showing 3 minutes on the clock at this point, so. As we come up on 3.5, I'll move this one we got off here to the side just a little bit, see if he'll shift. All right, showing 3.5 minutes on the clock. Pull him back a little bit, in line. Slightly cooked. Now the one right next to him, still showing raw. This one down here on this end, hot raw. Shift that. Now it shows slightly cooked. So that's kind of what I'm talking about there. And I realized I threw that extra one out there at the end on at the last minute, so he may not have upgraded yet or changed states yet. So coming up on 4.5 minutes. These are still showing hot raw, hot raw. This was the one we moved, so slightly cooked. Same for this guy here. Slightly cooked. This is our red-headed stepchild down here. I added on at the end at the last minute. Just rolled 5 minutes. Five and a half minutes. When I hit the 6-minute mark, I'll move these guys that are out here on the end. And these guys have not, they're still showing hot raw. And 6 minutes. Now these probably won't be cooked just yet, but just to be safe, I'm gonna do that shuffle. Now it's cooked. I'm going to pull that into my bag. We'll do a check taste on this. Slightly cooked. However, if I come in here and move this, hear that sizzle? That's all the goodness in it. So anyways, that comes off. Now these guys here, they're still showing hot raw. However, she's done. Now I'm at 640 right at the moment, so just for giggles, I'll show you one last thing. This is showing hot raw. This is showing hot raw as well. I'm showing 650 on the clock. I'm going to let these go to the 8-minute mark so you see exactly the whole process. My fire hasn't changed. Yeah, it has. Okay. So one of the times I cooked before, this number changed from 4 to 5 and the state of the meat changed. So maybe I had an anomaly there, but majority of time it's pretty much been what I'm showing you right here. Okay, something just went hot. All right, so it did, that number did change. I'm not sure when it happened, but those steaks did update at the very end there. In times past, what's ended up happening has been they don't update, and if it goes past the 8-minute mark, they'll go into overcooked. So just wanted to point that out. It doesn't seem to be very consistent, so just wanted to point it out and let you know. Like I said, 7 minutes seems to be the state, but you have to keep an eye on the steaks and make sure that they remain at the hot raw or hot slightly cooked. If your fire cools down and it goes to a warm state, those numbers those numbers on time are thrown off exponentially from there, because that now it's gone back to a cooler state, so it's not cooking as fast. At least that's the way it appears to be. So it still takes, you can't walk away from this, so you have to keep your eye on this. But as you can see now, I've got the rabbit meats going, and we're good to go. So thanks for watching.